With just a few nights before election night, Nancy Pelosi is vowing that the House of Representatives will be raked over by the Democrats. Donald Trump is predicting the Republicans will take over the House of Representatives. But me, based upon everyone's hairstyles in the House of Representatives, I'm predicting the hairstylists do a makeover of the House of Representatives. Hey, good evening, everybody. I'm here, you're here, and the blow dryers and the gel and the mousse is ready. As people are waiting what type of makeover will be coming to the House and Senate after election night, and maybe a little bit of powdering down and some Botox would help as well. It's a stressful couple of days, but we're going to get through it. It's Saturday evening. It's Halloween. I'm not in costume. This is actually how I look. So don't be shady and say, oh, you look really good in costume. No, this is actually how I look. So I really... And no, this is Nancy Pelosi standing in for LALATE tonight. This is actually LALATE taping. If you've not subscribed, you're wondering who the hell is this person recording tonight? Go to the Fun channel, subscribe, because we're going to get through this together, one hair strand at a time. Hit the alert button on the Fun channel so you get an alert when someone changes their hairstyle in the House of Representatives, which, you know, maybe that alert button will never sound off. And also like this video. In tonight's video, I'll be going over what you should expect on Monday and why it could be ultimately Donald Trump's worst nightmare, a man that has always gauged his success based upon Wall Street. And Monday with Wall Street is not expected to be a rosy dance in the garden. Big developments on Europe's front, big developments on the Federal Reserve with stimulus, big pushes for stimulus checks for you for second stimulus, and big pushes for lockdown stimulus. Yes, that and more. And reaction to how we ended on Friday is no better than even before. A lot of big news, and I'm so glad that you joined me for Evenings LALATE on Halloween, trick or treat, and I'm hoping to bring some treats and less tricks. You know, that's for the bedroom. All right, let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news is that Wall Street is expected to absolutely plummet on Monday, if not be tumultuous throughout the entire week. Over a week ago, I predicted to you that Wall Street is going to be very upset about the situation of COVID-19 cases, the stimulus, lack of stimulus, the concern about lockdowns, and the election uncertainty, even before we had a surge in COVID-19 cases that we currently have. When we were facing 73,000 cases a week ago, I said, expect on Monday Wall Street to plummet. It did. Thereafter, Wall Street analysts said, oh, you know what? All the way up until Wednesday, you should expect it to be very volatile. I have been reporting to you for over a month that historically, political historians have said that the incumbent president never gets reelected if Wall Street collectively over the months of September and October are down. And this is quite interesting because now Wall Street is testing its new lows from March. And the president, who singly has gauged his success on the outcome of how Wall Street is trading, may not be happy on what he sees on Monday. Wall Street is down to the levels of the start of the pandemic as of last week. And now is amid two really incredibly great news economic reports. But those economic great news were spurred by first stimulus relief, not spurred by second stimulus relief. They were a gross GDP number jump, enormous jump, 34%, rebounding from a 33% decline because of the pandemic. And second, the new jobless claims number, absolutely the best since March 14th, since the pandemic started. So really great numbers. But Wall Street said, you know what, that's fine, but we have big concerns going forward. Wall Street looks on going forward, which is what we do on this channel. I look about going forward for you. I don't argue for stimulus checks after they're due to you, with the exception of what's going on now, because I didn't have the channel then. Now that this channel exists, I'm pre-warning you that you're going to need stimulus checks for December, January, February, March, because there's lockdowns that are going to come across certain states. We just simply know it. And we need those stimulus checks and the movement of the purple power now to get those stimulus checks ready to go out, not have them go out in July after you've already gone through another wave of this pandemic. So Wall Street going into Monday is going to be absolutely furious. What are they dealing with? One, they're dealing with no second stimulus that would have given this economy the boost, the viewers of this channel, the relief, the business owners of this channel who are, husband and wife that own a business, maybe a shoe store, the husband and wife, just a two-person business, or an Uber and Lyft driver, a college kid out of college. It's a college kid out of college. That's generally what it's called. A 21-year-old kid that's just out of college. Say it again, dude. And he might be an Uber or Lyft driver, and he may be trying to make ends meet. That's a business as well. All these people need stimulus, and the economy is saying, hey, you know what? Where's that second stimulus? We need it right now. Wall Street saying, hey, we need the second stimulus right now. We can't sustain this economy without that second stimulus. That was before today. Well, today, the tsunami of economic bad news hit, and you know what it is. It starts with an E and it ends with England. England, which the U.S. stock market has always seen as sort of an indicator of what could be next with us because of the similarities and the relationships of the economies. Boris Johnson announced England is going on lockdown now all the way to December. This is a firm lockdown. This is not a light lockdown like Germany's. Germany's lockdown is a little bit like California's lockdown, which was, you can go out, you can walk around, you can go to the beach, you can do this, beaches might be closed. Oh, and Germany says some businesses may be open. England's is much like France's, which was announced on Tuesday and started on Friday and goes all the way to December. England is a real lockdown, and Wall Street's not going to be happy. It's not going to be happy because it impacts your economy, your businesses, which do business with England, and it impacts your jobs, and it impacts your livelihood. Whether you're on SSDI, SSI, Social Security, railroad benefits, or veterans benefits, whether you're a single mom, whether you're retired, whether you're a business owner, whether you're a small business owner, whether you're an Uber Lyft driver, all of you are impacted when there's an announced lockdown in England because all of this ripples through this economy. So when Wall Street opens on Monday, they're going to say, oh, good Lord, this is just getting bad by the minute. Trade down. That's the first thing. Second, they're going to worry about third way. They're going to worry about lockdown stimulus, what I call third stimulus. Not second stimulus, but third stimulus. This is the concern of where the COVID-19 cases are this week. 100,000 new cases per day. It's like 99-something thousand. Horrible numbers. 14 states are at all-time record high dailies. Certain states in the Midwest seeing ICU levels in hospitals at almost full max levels. I mean, we're really getting into a dangerous situation early in just October. I mean, it is not the thick of winter yet. It's fall. So the concern is what could happen very quickly. And Wall Street's going to say, hey, you have no third stimulus ready. What is third stimulus? Third stimulus is the relief that would give you relief for December, January, February, March. Let's understand. Biden and Trump are both running. They're both running for the president of the United States. Both of them are focused on some type of relief. And Trump's idea is that there is going to be a therapeutic or there's going to be a vaccine soon enough that he doesn't have to put you on lockdown. That's really down to the wire analysis because the therapeutics at best could be in early December, and that's presuming everyone can get the therapeutic in just a few days. A lot of the second stimulus packages expire in December. That's when it's passed. We don't have it passed yet. So let's assume we got second stimulus passed. It's not passed, but let's assume it is passed. Most of its provisions expire in December. Okay, so what happens in January? The Trump administration's presumption is that we'll have therapeutics by January, so we'll be fine. It's too risky a presumption. Next, the Biden administration's presumption is, okay, we'll deal with stimulus in, February or March. That's too late. You need to do it right away, and you need to be writing the bill right now. In fact, elected officials in the Senate and Congress are working. They're paid to work. Well, no, correction, they're not working. They're paid to work. And they should be writing the third stimulus package now because you need stimulus checks if they're lockdowns. How would this work? Lockdowns are announced by your governors, not by your president. They are state enacted or city or county enacted, but they don't have the money to pay you the lockdowns. The federal government has the money to pay you the lockdowns. The way the federal government is able to send you stimulus checks for lockdown is by either executive order or by act of Congress. Well, act of Congress requires a right in the law bill, which takes a few weeks, getting voted upon, which takes a couple days or a week, and then sending out the money. Well, this is November, and when you're looking at the second stimulus package, stimulus checks, no, there's no stimulus checks for December, for after January in the second stimulus package. The problem solvers offered an additional stimulus check in March. There is none in the Republican or Democratic proposal. There's no additional stimulus check. There's one, and it's a watered down stimulus check. Second, FPUC doesn't continue after January in either proposal. Hazard pay, not in either proposal. So you want to have all the frontline workers working in the hospitals at full capacity with no breaks, which is what the governor of Missouri talked about. You want to have them working at full capacity during a pandemic at full ICU, and you're not going to give them hazard pay, and you didn't give them hazard pay the last time. Then you have everything else. I mean, you have eviction moratoriums expiring in December, mortgage forbearance expiring in December, student loan forgiveness expiring in December. All these things, what little there are out there, are either from CARES Act 1 expiring or proposed in second stimulus and expiring as well in December. So with these types of concerns, what can happen? Jim Cramer from CNBC, the analyst, said he thought Friday was the most confusing day he had seen in Wall Street in many, many years. I know we all want this election to be over, so steel yourself for a messy, confusing outcome leading to some messy, confusing action in the stock market. Well, therefore, opportunities will abound. I'm expecting massive confusion. This is going to be a confusing week, especially, actually, one of the most confusing weeks of my career. And that was before England went on lockdown. That was before 100,000 new COVID cases in the United States. That was just with election uncertainty, contested elections, like Senate races not being determined on election night, and just concerns about second stimulus. Can you imagine what the president must be thinking going into Monday? With 48 hours before election night on Monday morning, you could potentially see Wall Street absolutely have a conniption fit. And if that's the case, what do you think is going to happen going to the polls? Will Americans think that the president is the one to bring them out of this, or the president who is not, or is it the president who's not dealt with the situation? What's important to understand is that your stimulus, when we're talking about second stimulus or third stimulus, is tied to the Senate more than the president. And now we have two races in Georgia that are up for the Senate races that require a majority vote. More than 50% you need to win at least 50% to capture a Senate seat. They have 3 people running for these seats per race. So they're worried they're not even going to have the results, and they're going to have to do it by a runoff, and that runoff is in January. Then you have Pennsylvania. The governor of Pennsylvania is not happy because in Pennsylvania, certain counties have said, you know what? We have a lot of mail-in ballots and we're not going to vote. We're not going to tally them till Wednesday. You know, election day is Tuesday. Why are you doing it on Wednesday? Because you know what? The Steelers are on. I don't know what they're doing there. Needless to say, everyone else is having a fit. It's like, okay, you got to get these votes. Well, we have a potluck dinner on Tuesday night, so we're sort of busy. I don't know what's going on. So you have that type of jitteriness. It's like, you're elected, you're paid to go count ballots. Go count ballots when you're supposed to count ballots. I'll count them before Christmas. I'll get to them eventually. It's just, no, you're supposed to count them on election day. I was like, that's why it's called election day, not election week. But this could ostensibly become the election month channel because we may not see election results not for hours, not for days, but potentially weeks. And ultimately, Does that help stimulus or does it hurt stimulus? What I've said to you is I'm not predicting it. I'm not predicting anything with this channel. What's important for you to understand is that as the Purple Power, you need to push, push, push. The Purple Power Caucus has absolutely been credible. You have understood where things are, how things get passed, where money is, and understood how it takes to get from point A to point B. All because of my reporting to you. My job has been to inform you and get you ramped up with information so that you see a fake narrative coming out. Earlier today on McConnell versus Trump, I talked about how there's some channels talking about $1,800 stimulus check, untrue. $3,400 stimulus check, untrue. And so it's important to be prepared for that, but it's also important to be prepared for what's going to come on Tuesday. And on Tuesday, you're going to hear something like, this happened, hence this. There is only one case scenario in which you see a very broad event, and that is the only one where we may have the most clarity. That is if the presidency is won by a very wide margin and the Senate is won by a very wide margin. If you see big, massive, wide margins of victories, I don't mean 3%, I don't mean 2%, I mean big, massive, wide margins of victory, then we could potentially on Wednesday morning, on early mornings, LALATE say, hey, I think this is what's going to happen. But if we don't, Lord, it's just too hard to call. And we're not going to do that. And what we are going to do is stay positive, stay motivated, and stay focused. And let me go over some incredible questions and comments from yesterday. Wes, I'm going to go trick-or-treating at the Wicked Witch of the West. No offense, Nancy. ML, wake up. They don't care. Much blessing and love. Robert Lloyd, just vote out everyone who's holding checks and talking is sickening. Tom Higgins, Congress needs to get their God in their life and get loss of Satanism. Okay, that's being very direct there, isn't it? Carolyn, good morning. In my opinion, if we get the vote in your position, if we, the people, vote you in a position, any position in the government, and you make promises you don't keep your word, you should be fired from your position. Patricia, good morning, Purple Power. Stay positive. Joyce, these stimulus checks are supposed to be issued every month until the pandemic's over with. Justice, LALATE, God bless you for caring for us. Lord knows our government does. You have taught me so much, and I thank you, sir. Thank you, Stephen Justice. Tom Higgins, I bet those high rollers are not happy with the stock market. Let's keep it that way because I'm not happy with no stimulus. Great comment. Debbie Nisbet, if I was in my teens, if I was in these teens in the frost and feel like winter, I wish I was in California. It's too cold here. Becky Wilburn, take House and Senate paychecks. Then they might do something. Amen. Brendan Damaris, we the people need to remember our constitutional rights. Juan Matreses, hello from Colorado. We're chilling at 29 degrees. Wow, stay warm. If you have questions to tonight's video, drop them in the comments below and I might feature them tomorrow's recording. There's going to be some big twists and turns. I hope you stay safe and I hope you stay calm. Go to the front of this channel, subscribe because we're going to get through this together. Let's try to add 1,000 subscribers per day. Let's get it done. Tell your friends, tell your families, family members to make sure they subscribe. Make sure you hit the alerts at the front of this channel so you get an alert when a new video goes live because you never want to miss a video. And also like this video. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay alive for more.